Understand? We want the best. We're competing with the best. We want to be the leading non-interest financial institution, not just in Nigeria alone, but in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. And you can do that with Bajensi kind of people. No! So it's got to be the best. So we need to continually build the right competencies for you to even get employed, to contribute your quota to the development of the institution. But it's not just about employment. When it comes to trade, I was humbled as I settled down in the institution. By the way, I spent just 2 months. When we got talking about some of the land bank achievements the bank has made, also in a few years of existence, I was told about a real estate company that started from almost zero. Couldn't get finance from the conventional institutions because they didn't meet the criteria. And what the guy was doing didn't make sense to them. You understand? Yes, you're doing nice stores, nice buildings and what have you, but you can't just meet the risk acceptance criteria that we've got. Jai's Bank met with this guy, incidentally a Muslim brother. They saw what he had done, and the bank partook, as a non-interest bank, and like we said earlier, as a non-interest bank, you are allowed, even by the provisions of your license, to trade. So in no time, from less than 100 million value of business, the company 5-6 years down the line is a multi-billion naira real estate company in Nigeria today. For confidentiality reasons, I won't mention their name. And there are pockets of others like that. So of what relevance is that to you, my dear brothers and sisters in Allah's deen? Your own company, your own endeavor, your own business, your own vocation can witness that kind of metamorphosis as well. Is it impossible? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can do it. But وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Man does not get anything except that which he strives for. So you got to strive. You got to be the best in your field. You got to be the best in your profession. You got to be the best even in packaging your business. Still on the first point about building the right competencies. We cannot do it all alone, even as individuals. So we have this excellent platform of the companion amongst other platforms. But a lot of us still have skill gaps. So I like to challenge the coordinators of the platform to please still see what they can do in helping our dear brothers and sisters towards making their business a bit more formal, towards making their business bankable, so to speak, because it's only at that point that you can begin to talk, in a confident manner to financial institutions, which Jais will be too glad to engage you with. The last one, because of time, we're going to sniff around for emerging opportunities and position strategically to avail ourselves of such. The kind of vision that we've got for this business, what we see in the horizon, Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, is a very robust Islamic finance economy that will transcend the nook and cranny of the country for a start. How do I mean? At a recent discussion with Islamic Development Bank, they also shared their thoughts with us about their plans for the development of non-interest microfinance institutions, i.e. Islamic microfinance institutions. We know our former president of the company, who is sitting by my right, is very active in that space. This is about the time, we need to intensify efforts, on some of those endeavors and try to see how we migrate a whole lot of them to do Islamic finance. IDB, Idhnillahi Ta'ala, assured us that they will be coming big to support such institutions, and we're happy to midwife that for them, as the only fully fledged non-interest bank in Nigeria, and to also support the regulators in coming up with the right framework that will deliver the expected results in that space. So why I'm bringing this up is that by the time those opportunities come, where would you be, my dear brothers and sisters? Will you be part of those that will be making things happen? Or will you be part of those people that will be wondering what is happening? Or will you be part of those that will be saying, what just happened now? So if you don't start now, then you'll be left out. It's not a cause. The last slide I've got is a summary of the products that we have under non-interest banking. Like I said earlier, there is virtually no product that you find in the conventional space that does not exist in non-interest banking today. We've got on the liability side, current accounts, domiciliary accounts, savings accounts, kids accounts, tier 1 accounts. We've got Jai's premium savings account. We have Mudoroba term deposits. So there is no serious interest or deposit that some of us have placed our funds in today that we don't have this halal alternative. So we need to take heed of that strong warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator. Then on the asset side, we have all sorts of products as well that meet your needs, that meet our needs, both at individual level and at corporate level. On this note, I'd like to thank the authorities, the coordinators of this program, of this platform, yet again, for giving me this opportunity to share these thoughts with my dear brothers and sisters in Allah's name. It is my prayer and hope that we'll find one or two things challenging enough, to make us all move away from the serious sorts of things that we do today to that which is halal. Should this be our own hijrah from Mecca to Medina, I will say yes. And that's the whole essence of this talk today. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make it easy for each and every one of us. Amen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kabirullah. May Allah reward our brother abundantly. I'm sure there will be many questions, and inshallah we shall take them. Let me mention that we have a lot of lessons to learn from the person and the personality of our guest lecturer for today, Alhaji Abdul Fattah, Amoo. Some of us are part of this journey, and then we know how he's ended up in the work that he is today. As he told us, he was in the conventional bank, Sterling Bank, but he went out of his way and like a hawk to chase this job as the Sterling Bank, because he was determined to make that migration, that jihad, from the interest-based banking to non-interest-based banking. This job that he has was not the first time he had an interview with Jai's Bank. He wasn't successful the first time, that was years back, and he kept going until he got the job. May Allah put barakah in it. These are the kind of hijrah that Allah and His Prophet enjoined us as believers to make. May Allah accept it as ibadah. Let me add one or two things to what he has said. Number one, recently we needed to insure our houses in a lighthouse, and then the task, I took it upon myself to search for the insurance companies, and of course it was going to be the Sharia compliance insurance company. And to my shock and pleasant surprise, the person that came to talk to me from one of the Takaful companies was an Igbo person and a Christian. And I said, how come? Well, he said he studied insurance, and this is insurance. This is just another aspect of insurance. He works in insurance, and he has gone to add this Islamic something to the knowledge of insurance that he has. So I had an Igbo person speaking in front of me, promoting Sharia banking insurance. Number two, I heard with my ears as the then Prime Minister of the UK, David Cameron, said that they want London to become the global headquarters of Sharia banking. And they will do everything to make London to become the global headquarters of Sharia banking. Because these are people of reasons rather than people of emotion, right? London will do very well from being the global headquarters of Islamic banking. The jobs will come to London, the money will come to London. So while we are making noise all over the place and shouting in Nigeria that they are bringing Sharia, these are people who brought Christianity to us, and they are saying, bring it here, come and make it happen. And of course, I was in the UK when Islamic Bank of Britain started in the UK as well. And it was Lloyd's Bank, which was not a Muslim bank, that set up the first Islamic Bank of Britain. Again, people of reason rather than people of emotion. Number three, a group of our brothers have set up what they call Islamic Institute, Institute of Islamic Finance. This one that Islamic Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals, and they are training people, certificated as well, about the different aspects of Islamic finance. To some of our young brothers and sisters who are jobless and who are at home, right, while looking for a job, this is one area that you can certainly look into to acquire, because it's a specialist area. You have to have the knowledge of it. Of course, if you join the bank, they will train you, but you certainly have an advantage when you can come into the bank for an interview and you are telling them about Ijaro, you are telling them about Musharaka, and all those different areas of Islamic banking. So, I urge the young people here to look into it. Two more things. Recently, the non-interest aspect of a Sterling Bank, the bank where he left for Jais, headed by our brother Bashir Oshoji, held a seminar or a workshop recently at the Syrian Club in Ikoyi, and I was there. And remind me if I got the figure wrong. If I remember correctly, he said that at least 75% of the businesses that they have financed through their non-interest banking have been Christian-owned businesses. Meaning that in spite of the noise, they actually do not mind to take the good money of Islam. But that is not really my concern. This is my concern. He said the reason for this is when our Muslim brothers and sisters come to apply, you find that their businesses are not registered. They are not going to finance a business that is not registered is a non-existing business. It's as simple as that, right? That they find that a lot of Muslim-owned businesses are not registered. Secondly, they do not do any kind of bookkeeping whatsoever. And some of them are doing well. Now when they say, show to us what you have done in the past year, in the past 3 years, what is your turnover? Everything is in the head. There is nothing written down. There is nothing audited. There is nothing to show to the bank. They are a serious institution. The fact that they know you as a member of the companion will not be enough to say, here is money, go and trade. So again, to our brothers and sisters that are involved in small-scale businesses, go and officially register your businesses at the Corporate Affairs Commission. Let your businesses be audited so that you have something which you can present to the bank that indeed I am running a small-scale business. So number one question.
Thank you, the Honorable Speaker, for today. Thank Allah for this opportunity. I think we also respect the strong character from him and make the success of this very interesting assignment. Yeah, so where I wanted to start is where Amoo does that's a simple formal question. Because every time you keep on receiving these messages, the bank is about close, they are not getting customers. And those messages are sent by us Muslims. That's shared by us. It's been on for almost 3 years. I don't know why we do this. Please, I don't think it's, first of all, it's not right. Secondly, it's not true. So when we have things that have to do with negativity, because that must have been sponsored by some other banks. And that's the marketing. So please don't let us help them to spread rumor or false information. By the grace of the special grace of Allah, I'm in a position to know how many accounts are open every day in every bank. Because those that come to me. And I can confirm to you that this is the most fastest growing bank in Nigeria today. By the number of accounts that are opened every day. Because I get that data from all banks every day. So please don't let us spread such rumor again. It's not true. It's false. The second one is that we have opportunity now to embrace it, and he has said it all. Because one of the significant problems we have is that where there are no financial institutions, people are bound to the poor. There's no doubt about that. So if you see anywhere that is prospering, it means that there's a strong financial institution support. This is what we don't have. That's where a lot of Muslims are poor. When you look at the north, the whole of Northeast, North Central, they don't have more than 200 branches of commercial banks. Abuja alone has more than 300 branches. So it's because of all these issues of lack of access to non-interest banking, because you know that the majority of Muslims will not patronize those conventional banks. Now that we have it here, I think I just want to appeal again, and this is not marketing. This is just to promote the fact that this is what we should do. They have Takaful as a branch, as a subsidiary of the bank. There are other insurance companies that also have Takaful. Me, I've converted all my insurance to Takaful. How many of us already have an account with Jai's Bank? If you have, please raise up your hands. Can you see? Just look away from, look at the back, you can see. We are less than 10. So how many of us are going to have an account in the next 1 month? God bless you.
Number two.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So my question goes to, having gone through the pamphlet, the Jais Wakala investment, the amount quoted there is it for institutional investment or individual? So I want to know what is the minimum for individual? Thank you.
Okay, my views and question goes to the fact that is there any platform or a window that Jais can operate whereby one, majority of us, I'll use the word us, will be fully aware of the banking sectors, apart from lectures like this. Then two, upcoming businesses and ideas. Is there any platform or window whereby there will be relationship or mutual talk between both the bank and the business person? I'll give you an example. The Lagos State government in the past, 2 years ago, or less than 1 year ago, needed to create awareness of people paying tax, especially personal income tax. And what did the government do? They roll out fund, loans, up to 5 million naira. And part of the criteria is that you must pay your tax. And we, some of the consultants, we are now being given that policy that for you to give a loan to somebody, you must also be a beneficiary of that loan. So that you are able to tell them that this loan is real. And the first thing they will ask is pay your tax. I must confess to you that commencing from January 2017 to the closing hours of 31st of January and of December, majority, almost over 70% of applicants of that particular loan were simply because they heard about the loan and they are able to pay the tax. And non-informal sectors, there's a gallop of people paying tax in the non-informal sectors, not formal sectors, the informal sectors, the bricklayers, the artisans, and others. They were paying their money and we are paying tax. Now, is there any format or a structure by Jais Bank to roll out these policies and also people with ideas? They can now sit down with them and say, look, this your business can go better with us than going to conventional bank. Because the majority of us are dying there and we always tell you there is no alternative. So
there's one question per person.
Now, during the course of your lecture, you reiterated the point that Islam encourages trading and commercial transactions. And as individuals, we expect that when we invest, we expect returns. And for most of us outside the banking industry, there are two concepts I feel we misunderstand. The concept of usury and return on investment. So would you please differentiate between the two concepts, interest and profit, return on investment?
What number was that? So number 7 now.
Now that we have non-interest banking, how do we make our pension fund Islamic? Because most of the pension fund administrators we have invest in all sorts of businesses. And for those of us who are made to contribute to such funds, how do we make it Islamic compliant? Thank you. Right.
I want to thank the guest speaker. Where I'm saying that in May 2017, the Muslim Lawyers Association held its national conference in Lagos, and we did all we could, both formal and informal, to get Jais Bank to come and give either the keynote address or at least come and give a very good lecture on Islamic banking. He disappointed us shamelessly because it really embarrassed us. Going forward, I want to ask our brothers, what have they put in place so that such things will not happen? We have called it ours, and the Muslim lawyers embrace it and bring it in, even at the expense of other banks, including your former bank. And yet you were disappointed. That is one. Two, the theme of that conference has to relate to the getting out of recession and sustaining it. I will see that there are a lot of facilities that are in place for citizens, but once they are non-interest, what they are interested in, those things will lay back. How do we ensure that Jais Bank will ensure that they are part of the institutions that will make Muslims to love such things like this? Assalamu alaikum.
My experience with Sterling Bank is that each time I want to withdraw, I don't know the type of account because the ED Jais actually marketed Sterling non-interest, and I went into it. But each time I want to withdraw, I have to call my account officer or try to get in before I can withdraw from any branch. Now I want to know, opening with Jais Bank, is this going to be the same thing that I must get either Rogoya Fadila or the ED to be able to withdraw? Secondly, you have told us now that there are openings for our children who want to get employed. What about mothers and fathers who are unemployed? Will there be openings for us too? Salaam alaikum.
Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My question really is on the banking sector now. If, for instance, by any reason at all, you have a fixed deposit account and for your own Sharia compliance, you don't wish to indulge in the interest that accrue, what should you do with such interest? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan for the lecture. My question is this. In the conventional bank, especially for those of us that don't have much money in the bank, as in immediately the money enters the account, we just go and collect it. So this issue of interest is not really there. Rather, I would say I've never really collected interest on anything because when I have money, I collect it and use it for what I want to use it for. So in most cases, you get very funny text messages. Of course, I know that I've spent 1,000 to collect ATM card. Then there's one money for ATM maintenance. There's another one for the same ATM maintenance. There's one VAT. You know, they send very funny messages. And the messages always comes down to the fact that your money is being deducted every now and then. When you now ask, they will tell you it's CBN. They have very funny responses anyway. My question is, if I decide to open an account with Jais Bank, and I think I want to use Jais Bank as a place where I keep my money, what would be my loss or my gain? Loss, as in, since Jais Bank at least is a bank, will you also be deducting and deducting? My gain is, they don't even have to ask for my money. Will I still have my normal amount of money there? Please, this question, don't say because I'm number 11, very important.
This is something I wanted to talk about for a very long time, but alhamdulillah is coming up today. So, I work with Islamic IBTC Bank, and Islamic IBTC, unfortunately, we've officially stopped Islamic banking. I know they say it's a business decision, but I'm sure if business was making so much money from Islamic banking, I don't think business would decide to close it off. So it's just addressing the point our father has made today that we need to make it our responsibility. Because the truth is that Jais Bank cannot be the only Islamic bank that will operate in Nigeria. If not, you will not get the best from Jais Bank. Because really, for you to excel, you need to have competition now and then. So let's leave conventional banking with Jais Bank, and unfortunately it's just Sterling Bank that is left. So let's go to normal investments. We have ARM, we have Lotus Capital, and we also have Islamic IBTC asset management. So I'm just, as I said, it's not really a marketing thing. It's just for us to be aware that these opportunities are really for us to use. I work in a bank that we do conventional and used to do Islamic banking, but I see Muslim businesses, individual businesses and corporate businesses come to borrow money and they're doing normal loans, and it's every day. So it's something I'm really passionate about, because because I'm very big on Islamic finance, and I really want to employ everybody. Apart from conventional banking, all of your investments, the treasury bills, yes, you will get 70% from Islamic banking, but we need to grow it. And it's when we grow it that we get the best out of it. So I'm employing everybody, please. Any of your money, it's your money. We deal with money every single day. So it's better that our money is going through the right channel. So that we'll be able to tell my child that, okay, we try with all of our money. And somebody was saying something about, oh, I have little money. Banking basically excess, I give my little money, I give to somebody else. So if you're saying that my money is so small, it's not, I don't have 100 billion like Dangote, why should I really be bothered about not using conventional and non-conventional? The truth is that if you don't make your money available, your brothers and sisters that need loans, how are they going to get the loans? So that little and also is not significant. So this is really significant, and I think every one of us should take all of what we pay today and make use of it.
Thank you.
Alhaji Amoo, my question is on shares. I've bought the shares of Jais for the past 10 years now. I've not collected. Now you say you are having billions as your profit. So I will be getting dividends on this now. That's number one. Yes, your register. We have not collected our certificates. That's number two. Number three is I want you to maybe you add it to your program. Relay contribution into our contribution is part of Islamic. So that when we want to buy a road, we just can't collect. Actually, my question is related to the last sister's question. I bought some shares of Jais back those early days, and that's not have anything apart from Fattah. I got a certificate at that time, and that was it. So, are we account holders or are just shareholders? What are we supposed to get for buying the shares of Jais? The second thing is that my sister here was just telling me that she tried to open an account in Jais, and notwithstanding that she wanted to open a corporate account, she was asked to bring her salary account. What if I'm not a salaried person? Must every account I need to open request me to bring my salary to Jais? Okay, I'm seeing the document before us, the flyer. It's not everything that asks for our salaries to be domiciled to open an account. It seems that some of your staff may not understand this. Just to bring this to your attention, and then you can correct it. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Okay, I must say Jazakumullahu khairan to all of us that have asked one question or the other, made observations, gave suggestions, and those who intended to